All right, we're going to talk about for sale by owner. All right. The cool thing about this for you guys, unlike pitching developers, you can start doing this today. And the method that I'm going to give you will apply to new real estate agents. So even if you are brand new, this is a method that you can use starting this afternoon. When I was a new agent, I attended a real estate school, not to get the license, but to get real estate training called Broker Heaven. And Broker Heaven for me was probably the biggest thing in my career that kind of set me up for success. I learned so much through Broker Heaven. Unfortunately, the owner passed away. It's not around anymore. And all of the material got sucked into his estate and just a black hole. So it's not available. One of the coolest trainings that I went to there and all the stuff that he taught me was this for sale by owner training that new agents can use. I have to motivate you guys to actually do this stuff. If you guys want to get into sales, you have to do the shit that you need to do to get into sales. It's very likely you're going to just stumble into sales. Okay? It's very unlikely that you're going to stumble into sales. It's very unlikely that you're going to post a bunch of pretty apartments on your Instagram page 3 months in a row, and then somebody's going to say, hey, I want to sell my $2 million house. That's generally not how it works. Okay? If you are great at social media, which very few of us are, maybe you'll get lucky and somebody will come to you that way. Otherwise, you have to be proactive. Okay? So, if you're not doing this that I'm going to tell you to do today, you're probably not going to have a very successful sales career. It's a simple tactic. Okay? We'll put you out of your comfort zone just a little bit, but I'm telling you, if we were talking about losing weight and getting in shape, and I said you need to eat less and exercise, and you were trying to find a way around it, I would probably be right, and you would probably be wrong. All right? So if you're thinking you're going to get into sales some other way, I'm telling you this is the best way. Okay? Yeah, sure, you could take Ozempic. It works. The best way is diet and exercise. Okay? I'm telling you the best way, especially for you guys as new agents. But you guys have to find some way to light that fire within yourselves, and then you have to keep it ignited, right? And the best way to do that is by taking action regularly. All right. The momentum that you create will be the regular action, right? You may not get traction right away, but as long as you're doing something, you will stay motivated. So I want you guys to ask yourselves this. How many people do you know who own real estate in New York City? I heard a 0. Surely you guys must know hundreds. You're real estate agents, right? You know 1. Imagine being a mechanic. You guys have heard me say this a bunch of times before. Imagine being a mechanic and you didn't know anybody who owned a car. You wouldn't have much business, would you? So, those of you who are thinking 0 or 1 or any single-digit multiplier of those numbers, you need to understand that you probably need to meet some owners, meet some people who own property, right? So would you say that it is beneficial for you to meet more people who own property? Yes. All right, good. That's the answer I was looking for. So how do you crack into the market? Have you ever heard people complaining that it's not how hard you work, not how well you do, but who you know? Mm-hmm. Like getting jobs and things like that. Not how hard you work, not how motivated you are. You just simply get lucky by who you know. All right. So let's couple that with the fact that you need to meet more people and know more people who own real estate. Then maybe you'll start to get more lucky, right? So your goal now is to meet more owners. I'm going to write that down. Meet more owners. Sounds easy, right? All right. How are you going to do it? Well, I'm going to tell you how. All right. That's the cool part of this meeting. We've encountered a problem. I'm now giving you the solution. So If you guys have not noticed, every Saturday morning you get 2 emails. FSBO, brokers must, Manhattan. FSBO, brokers must, Brooklyn. We only do Brooklyn and Manhattan. You could pay for a Queens one if you wanted, okay? But we're giving you 2 ones for free, so it probably wouldn't make sense to pay for one if you're not using the free ones, okay? In those emails is a PDF full of FSBO properties. What is FSBO?
For sale by owner.
Oh, cool. All right. Why might someone, an owner, sell by themselves without a real estate agent? What are some reasons for that?
They don't want to pay the fee.
They don't want to pay a commission. They're trying to save some money. Why else? Maybe they are a control freak. They want control over the process. Why else?
Bad experience.
Bad experience with real estate agents. Well, they're trying to save money. Yeah. Maybe they don't like or trust real estate agents. Maybe they think they can do a better job. They may have a perceived simplicity, what I call Dunning-Kruger. I think I showed you guys that graph last week, the Dunning-Kruger graph, that when you know very little about something, you overestimate your ability. So they may have a perceived simplicity of what it is that we do. Maybe they just want to sell it fast. Maybe they just want to test the market. I'm not really interested in going into a 60-day or 90-day contract with somebody. They just want to see if they get any hits. Maybe they're not really sure about selling. They're not really sure about moving. They just want to test the market. So there are some reasons why someone might do it. What are some potential mistakes an owner might make?
Selling too low.
Well, selling too low, yeah. They might misprice the listing. You said too low. Generally, I find it to be too high. Okay. What else? They may underestimate the time commitment. Just like everybody who becomes successful in real estate, they get in thinking they'll do this as a part-time job and then realize it is their life. It is their life. Maybe they have poor negotiating skills. Sometimes, yeah. Maybe they negotiate emotionally. So when you have the direct parties in touch with each other, there's almost always a catastrophe somehow. When the seller and the owner are in direct contact, there's almost always some type of catastrophe. When the landlord and the renter are in touch, there's always some type of catastrophe. Okay. I talked last week about not wanting the seller to be there because when the seller's there, it could go very poorly. The seller could have some major emotional attachment to something that is total shit in the eyes of somebody else that's living there. Okay. That person could choose bad offers. Not all offers are the same. An offer for 1 million and an offer for 1 million may not be the same offer because within that offer are contingencies, are financing, are closing times, right? So not all offers are the same. Some owners just want the highest price, but that may not happen.
Yes.
And the buyer may not qualify. The property may not hit the appraisal price point. The buyer may be foreign and getting money from one country into the United States in a specific time frame may prove impossible. Right? You guys ever been on a plane that says, "Are you declaring any money? Are you bringing more than $10,000?" Well, that's because you need to declare that money, right? And you may pay taxes. If you're in China and you just want to buy a place in the United States, it's a lot tougher than you would think. Did I mention time commitment? Choosing bad offers, poor negotiating skills, incomplete paperwork. personal attachment to things that are not valuable to a buyer. Where did this girl go? We, Jessica and I yesterday were looking at some comps for a seller that she's working with, and we found 3 identical apartments. Okay, the only differences were the color of the cabinets, because some of them have decided to paint their cabinets and change the hardware. The exact same layout, and then the bathroom sink and the bathroom mirror were different. They were all priced differently because they all thought theirs was the best. Okay.
Was it the same home?
What's that?
Was it the same property? Or
It was literally the same development. Okay, so there's a bunch. It was like a community with all the same buildings. All the apartments were exactly the same. Okay, but everybody, because it's theirs, our blue cabinets are ours is obviously superior renovation. No, yours are it's the same. It's just blue versus white.
Situation like that, would you see like how those are the only variables that are different, see what the price differences between them, and you can offer to a buyer like, hey, if it's the cabinetry, we'll change the cabinetry.
Well, everything is negotiable. Okay, but the other places were listed at 2 of the places were listed at X price, and I said, well, you probably want to be a little bit, 5,000-10,000 lower than theirs, just so you get the traffic. Right, the eyes are going to hit yours first, right, and then maybe they'll offer more, but you want to get them in the door for your place. They're all worth the same because they're all the same. You just want to get people into yours. Okay, so here is the for sale by owner process. You are going to call these guys up. Ring, ring. Hi, is this Jack, the owner of 123 Broadway, Unit 23F? Guys, don't write this down. I'm going to give you the scripts. Okay, and remember, it's a conversation, and the words they use may not be the words that I'm using here. Things will change, but I want you to just understand what you're about to say to them when you call. Hi, this is Justin and Julie with Oxford Property Group. I'm sure 60 agents are calling you every day to pitch listing with them. Listen, I work a lot in the area, but I fully respect the fact you're selling it on your own. I just spend a lot of time in the area. I try to see as many listings that hit the market as possible. I was just wondering if you might have some time this week, or if you're doing an open house, I could just stop in and check it out. Would that be all right? You're going to get 3 potential responses. Yes, sure. No. Or why? Okay. If you get yes, great, thank you. I'll see you soon. If you get no, well, thank you for your time. Good luck with your sale. If you get why, you already told them why, so just tell it again. Okay. If you get the yes, what are you going to do? You're going to go there and pitch them, right? No. The issue we identified 5 minutes ago was what? You don't fucking know people who own property. The issue was you don't have listings. The issue was not that you don't have listings. The issue is that you don't know people who own property. We're going to meet people who own property. The issue is not you don't have listings to pitch. Okay, we're not pitching here. The issue is you don't know people who own property. We need to solve that. Once you know people who own property, when we can have this meeting again in 6 months, and you say, I know 82 people who own real estate, versus me hearing echoes of 0 or 1, then we can talk about pitching listings. The issue we have today is meeting people who own property. Okay, so when you show up to their home, you're going to bring a folder with you. I will tell you and show you. Thank you to Megan, because Megan prepared this for me this morning. What you're going to put in that folder. And at the end of this meeting, I'll give you some slides with some QR codes so you can download the stuff. And there's also an editable document that you can use on your own. I think we talked about this last week, and I did not show you. Now you've come so far, I'm going to release the knowledge. All right. Here's a folder. I've seen folders before. It does not have to have a logo on it. It does not have to be nice. Okay. It can be just a generic folder. All right. Ideally, not a super cheap one. Okay. But I don't expect you to have your name, your logo, your brand in Boston gold on the front. This one happens to have my brand and my name in gold embossed on the front. Disregard that, okay? Because well before I was doing this, I was using folders, okay? Inside that folder, notice the business card. Most folders will have a slot for a business card. You're going to have an About Me page with your bio or mission statement up front. Didn't we talk about that last week? How convenient. With your headshot, so they can remember your face on the bottom. Did we talk about headshots last week? How convenient. And your contact information. Cool? After that, you're going to have some social proof. I have 2 pages. I would have printed these double-sided, but it's all right. Testimonials. Now, you guys are new. You don't have testimonials probably about yourself. You don't have positive reviews. Now, that's a problem, right? Another problem we've now identified. Let's solve it. What I want you to do is go to the Yelp page for your brokerage or the Google page for your brokerage and look at the reviews. And I want you to crop any of the reviews that mention how great that brokerage was, because you're now using the reputation of the company for yourself. Oxford was great. I would definitely use them again. Cool? Guess what? Nobody's reading this shit. You guys don't even fucking read the comments and the description under people's Instagram posts most of the time. And I know you guys write your little hearts out. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody's reading this. Most of the time, they're not even going to read this. Even though I spend a lot of time getting a copyright-free image, overlaying the text, okay? I don't expect anyone to read it. Make sense? All right? It's just there because it will make someone feel good knowing it's there, okay? Assume 80% of people won't even turn these pages, okay? 20% will, 15% maybe. Most of it does not matter. On the other side, you have 8 for sale by owner tips, courtesy of forsalebyowner.com. Why are you giving them tips? Don't you want them to list with you? Actually, no, you don't. That's not the goal today. The goal is to provide value and meet someone who owns property. Okay? This is valuable. Sort of. It's actually garbage, but giving them something of value means that you were someone that provided value, whether they used it or not. Okay. Anybody know Marie Kondo or something, The Art of Tidying Up? Anyone read that book? But it's Marie Kondo. I think she's what? Yeah, I think she's Japanese. Right. She talks in her book about tidying up and living a simple lifestyle, going through your closets and throwing 90% of the shit out because you'll never wear it again. She also talks about how someone gives you a gift, okay, and then you hold on to it even though you don't like it, you don't want it. She said, throw it away. The whole gift was to make the giver feel good and to make you happy knowing they gave you an act of doing something nice. This is that act. The act of doing it and giving it is all that matters. Okay? So you're giving them something of value. What is every other broker going through that door doing? Trying to extract value. List with me so I can make a commission. You're saying, list on your own. I'm helping you do so because I'm a nice guy providing value to you. Okay? This is simply a token. Okay? And you guys will all have access to it. You scan the QR code, bring it to the Google Drive. You can download it. Okay? You can edit it. You can change the font. I don't give a shit. Just don't write your name as if you were the author. Fair enough, because you weren't. I wasn't either. Courtesy, what did I say? Courtesy of forrentbyowner.com. Next up in your folder, a CMA report. What I like doing, we're not pitching this property. We're not establishing a sales price. This CMA report here is every condo listing on the Upper West Side between 1.5 million and 2 million. And it's like 9 pages. Okay? When I give the person this folder, I'm going to say, they're going to think it's some type of pitch deck or something. I'm going to say, hey, I just wanted to give you this. There's some for sale by owner tips in there. Might be a good little article for you to read through. But also, I gave you a CMA report. Right? That's one of the broker tools that we have that shows you every other listing that's on the market and what's recently sold. So just if you want to get an idea of what's out there, I don't know if you have access to these tools because it's like a broker only option on Street Easy. So I just figured I'd print it out so you have kind of some references as to what else is on the market. Cool?
Do they give a shit about that?
They may. Okay. But all you want to do is offer a token of value. Okay. Because every other person is trying to extract value. All right. Now I have a question for you. How do you become friends with someone? Ooh, I like that. That's good. That's good. Building trust. Okay. First, you meet them. Second, you establish common interests. Okay. You have to be trustable. Okay. So you're going to their home, right? You're not going to treat it like a museum. That would be a little weird. Okay. But this is a showcase of who they are, as is every one of your homes or bedrooms or dorms with your posters representing your interests. All right. If they have a dog, rub their dog. Okay. Talk to their dog. If they have kids, you talk to their kids. Okay. You're showing interest in the things that are parts of their life. Okay. Find some commonalities. If you like touching dogs, you talk about how much you like touching dogs. You dog likers call that petting, by the way. For me, it's just weird that you would touch someone else's animal, but whatever. So that may not be something that I would do. Okay. If there's art, you could ask them about the art. If you don't know shit about art, maybe don't talk about the art. You're trying to establish and find some common ground. Okay. Because that's how you become friends with someone. Okay. So when you're there, you're trying to find some common ground. Right. Again, don't walk through like you're touring a museum. Okay. It needs to be conversational. You're just commenting on some things. You might say, where are you heading after this? Oh, you're moving to Colorado? That's cool. Are you a skier? Or you just like weed? You may not say that to everybody. If you get that vibe, you might say it. Okay? If you don't like weed and you get the sense that they do, maybe you don't bring it up because that's not common ground for you. Okay? I'm just trying to teach you guys how to make people like you. You guys understand? It's very difficult for me to put that into words. I'm trying my best here. Some of you, it's very easy. When we met for lunch the other day and he was talking to the waitress, I was like, oh, where did you meet her? He goes, 3 minutes ago at the front. I was like, oh, I thought it was someone you knew because your personality, you guys connected. She, not romantically, but she liked him and he liked her. They were friends. What was missing? What was her name? When was the last time you saw her? You remember the name, really? Okay. All right. Touche. You did what I was going to tell you to do next, which is follow up. Thank you very much. The follow up is where the real magic happens. If there was a little chemistry to begin with, not romantic chemistry, friendship chemistry, different things. Okay. So you can add them on LinkedIn. Might be a bit too intrusive to follow them on Facebook, but LinkedIn is a reasonable thing that most reasonable adult people have. Okay, so you can follow them on LinkedIn. If they are moving to Colorado, maybe you share with them an article you found about New York transplants in Colorado. Or if you find out what city they're moving to, the nicest restaurants, and you could email them that. Okay? Again, you're providing value, you're keeping the conversation going, right? Hey, I just stumbled across this article, best restaurants in Colorado. Just thought I'd share it. Did you really stumble? No, you searched for it, found it, and sent it, but either way. But the goal is to stay in touch. When you leave their home, you get back to the office. This is a very important, crucial aspect of this. You write them a thank you card. Right? You go to some stationery store, and for $9, you get a pack of 15 cards. Most of you won't ever do this once. If you manage to get through that first pack, come to me, let me know. I will pat you on the back and buy your second pack. Fair enough? Okay. Maybe we could collaborate and design some really nice ones together. I would like that. For most of you, you won't ever do this once. In my experience.
This is after the second encounter?
There's no second encounter here. You went there once, you get back to the office, you write them a thank you note. Okay? And you mail it to their home, which of course you know the address. Why not send an email? Might be overlooked. Maybe they get the email. A paper thank you card. Well, paper thank you card is not used very often. Okay? Something else weird about thank you cards. Thank you cards. People save them. They don't throw them away. The thank you card is a physical anchor of who you were. They have that physical card. They're picturing you and remembering you. How many emails do you get a day? I get somewhere between 400 and 700, which, by the way, my inbox is almost always single digits. Okay, I don't expect most people are like that. An email is garbage, doesn't mean anything. There's no physical anchor. That's why you have to send the thank you card. Okay? A week later, you can assume the mail system's pretty quick here in New York. They've gotten your thank you card. So when you call them, because you are a follow-up master, when you call them, they should probably remember who you are. Okay, what are you going to ask them? To list their home with you? No. Hey, Joe, just checking in. Any good traffic lately, or it's still real estate agents? Listen, if you do decide to list with a real estate agent, which I gave you advice, you should have enough information. You don't need to. But if you do decide, think of me. But either way, have you had good foot traffic? Any offers yet? How's the move to Colorado going? Just keep up the conversation. Okay? Now, when you meet someone, you like them, they like you, you have similar interests. How do they become your friend? Through continued conversation. Okay? Trying to meet people and make them your friends and acquaintances. So, you can follow up with them on their birthday. You can follow up with them in 3 months. Hey, did you make it out to Colorado? How's life? Did your daughter graduate? I had a client a couple years ago, actually like a year ago, and he said he was looking at places. I showed him some really nice places on the Upper West Side, but he was moving here because his daughter was giving birth in a few months. So I sent him a message like a little after the baby was born, per my estimates. Right? That's a nice thing to do. You want to stay in touch with people. Cool thing about meeting owners is they generally know other people who are owners as well. Okay. For example, if you live in a condo building, your next door neighbor also lives in a condo building. There's probably a condo owner. Right? So just by proximity, you're around other people who own property. Somebody else decides to sell, doesn't want to list on their own, and might reach out to the person who was their former next door neighbor for advice. Right? You never know, but point is that you might get some potential referrals at that point. Okay, but the goal is to be the person that they know who's a real estate agent, who's a respectful, professional real estate agent. All right. The predicament you guys have now is you know no one who owns real estate, so you need to meet people who own real estate. Cool. All right.